Under index laws, there are three main laws that we need to be familiar of. Before that, let's look into what is the index notation. If I write a term like x to the power 7, here the term that we write in this section, we call this as the base. This is called as the base. And the number 7 here, we call this as power, exponent, or we call it as index. Throughout this lesson series, I will be calling, if there is a power, I will be using it either as index, exponent, or power. Most of the time, calling it as power. Okay, let's see the first law. When the bases are same in a multiplication. So when I say the bases, that means these x terms are same. Then what we can do to these powers is these powers get added. So n plus m. I will do a quick example for this one. X to the power 3 times x to the power 2. So this x to the power 3 I can write as x times x times x. This x to the power 2 I can again write here as x times x. So this means there are 5 x's. When they get multiplied, we can write as x to the power 5. So you can simply see what has happened is these two powers has been added. So rather than going through this expanded procedure, you can straight away use the above law here to add the powers if you come across such situation. Keep in mind this can only be done if the bases are same. If the bases are different, you can't do this one. Moving on to the second law. If the bases are same in a division, powers get subtracted. So this goes as n minus m. Okay, I will do an example for that one too. You can consider x to the power 3 divided by x to the power 2. This simply you can think like as a fractional term, x to the power 3 divided by x to the power 2. Again, I'm going to expand each numerator and denominator here. There are going to be 3 x's, and in the denominator it will be 2x. So you know like terms cancels out. Here this x and this x, this x and this. So we only remain with 1x. So you don't need to write the power 1, but you should know that always ends as 1. If you notice here, what you can see is these two powers has been subtracted. So in these scenarios, if the bases are same, what you can do is you can subtract the powers. Okay, moving on to the third rule. When there is a power of a power, let's assume x to the power n, within bracket again we have m. So in such scenario, what you can do is you can simply multiply these two powers. So you can write this as x to the power n times m, or nm. This is the third rule associated with index laws. I will go through an example for this one too. So consider x to the power 3 times power 2. This thing you can consider, this x to the power 3 term has to be multiplied 2 times. So you can consider such situation. Again, now you can see this is going to be scenario like the rule 1. where the bases are same, so you can think powers can be added. So you can think 3 plus 3, that's going to be 6. So in short term, what has happened is here this power 3 and power 2 has been multiplied. So without going this expanding procedure, you can straight away write this as x to the power 3 times 2, which is equal to x to the power 6. There is another scenario that is worth knowing with the index laws. I will note it here. Consider a situation where x times y times power n. So there are two terms inside the bracket and the power of the index is outside the brackets. In such situations, you can consider this n is common to both. So you can expand this bracket x to the power n times y to the power n. That means this power belongs to both of these. Keep in mind, always there should be a multiplication in between these two terms, otherwise this cannot be done. I will go with another example. So if I write this like x plus y to the power n, this cannot be written as xn plus yn. This is completely wrong. So don't mix up the two rules. This is the same scenario if there is instead of plus, if it is of minus, it is the same scenario, you can't do it. But if it is a multiplication or a division, yes, you can write this either multiplication or like a division. This is right, this is wrong. Let's move on to work out few examples with these index rules that we discussed now.